John Hurd, he's a trainer. Deshaun Parker, the rider. Max Pandowdy gets it done in race number 4 here at the fairgrounds. Congratulations to the winning connections, and an honor for me to honor Deshaun Parker in the winner's circle, a member of the 6,000 Win Club. Also an honor for me to be sitting next to longtime bugler here at the fairgrounds, Les Colonello. He's got his own corner carved out in the winner's circle. And Les, like I said, great to have you here. How many years have you been the bugler here at fairgrounds?
I have ID badges that go back to 2001. As a matter of fact, if I stack them all on top of each other and flip them, you could watch my hairline recede.
That's awesome. So you're at a racetrack. How did it even come about that you got the gig here at Fairgrounds? Because you are, a well-recognized musician here in New Orleans. You've been doing this for over 20 years at Fairgrounds. How did that come about? And then part 2 of the question is, do you get into the races at all?
Well, there was a time 20 years ago whenever the old bugler left, and they had an open audition.
Oh, cool.
And I came in second, so I was an alternate. And then the guy who I was alternating with moved out of town, and I took the gig. And no, I don't get into horse racing because I don't know anything about it. There's too many variables. Once I put $7 on the 7th horse in the 7th race. And that was the one time I did that.
And did you win?
He came in 7th.
Very good. All right, let's take a look at the horses in the paddock as we continue our conversation with Les. And I mentioned well-recognized musician here in New Orleans. You bugle here on the weekends, but you're all over the city of New Orleans the rest of the week. Tell us about some of your gigs, what you do, what kind of music you love to play.
Well, I'm very blessed to be able to do this for a living. I've been here for 38 years, having moved from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And I've never had to make another penny outside of music. So I'm very lucky in that regard. I play at different restaurants around town in their brunches and their special events at night. And I also play on the Creole Creek riverboat quite often. And along with other bookers who call me up, I try to fit their gigs into where I can. And I'm just living the life.
Now, when you do the call to post here, there's the traditional call to post, but you like to jazz it up a little bit. In fact, you like to jazz it up quite often. We really enjoy it. Can you just tell us how you come up with your little alterations of the call to post and maybe what some of your inspirations are?
Well, of course, I can't play the call to post any differently than the way it's supposed to be played. But afterwards, my predecessor instituted a little jazzy lick at the end of it. And it's my pleasure to try to come up with things that I think people might enjoy. Sometimes it's a little difficult. I get something in my head before I walk out, and I think, I'm going to play this. And then when I get out there, I draw a complete blank. And that's where the jazz comes in.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. It's nice to be able to freestyle it once in a while. And on the theme days, sometimes we have theme days or holidays here.
Yes.
You try to, abide by the, the theme of that particular holiday or that particular day that we're celebrating?
I do. On the Mardi Gras Day, I try to play all New Orleans Mardi Gras songs. And it's a bit of a challenge, but sometimes I have to write these things down and remind myself what to play. Because once I get out there, it's all the sights and sounds sort of take over, and I get sort of excited myself, and I forgot what I wanted to do. So sometimes I repeat myself. I try not to, and I'm pretty sure that the people don't realize when I do repeat myself.
Now, you said you're a transplant from Pittsburgh. I grew up in Chicago. I now live most of my year in Louisville. This is my 6th season here in New Orleans. And to me, there's just something about the heart and soul of this city. Obviously, the social aspect, the great foods, great sports teams,
right,
et cetera, et cetera. What is it that you love most about New Orleans?
Well, I love that it allows me to be who I am and what I am. There was work in Pittsburgh, but I wasn't very good and I wasn't getting any. So when I came down here, I had to learn quite a bit. It took me about a year to get established, and ever since then, I've been just living the life.
About 6 minutes of post time for the fifth race here at the fairgrounds on the turf. Again, the Stall Wilson turf course. Rail is 28 feet in, and Kevin Kilroy's got a long shot here. Number 5, Go Brother Go. Did come off a dominating win last off for Patrick Mouton, whose barn has been on fire. A little bit surprised myself to see this 10-1 price. 5-2 on the number 8, Regal Kingdom for Ron Fauché, who already has a win on today's card. Well, Les, you're sitting here next to me. We do have an automated bugle that isn't nearly as entertaining to listen to as you are, that we're going to use this race, but thanks so much for joining us. It was great to sit down and get to know you a little bit better. You're a face here at Fairgrounds, and now people know a lot more about you.
Well, thank you very much. It was my pleasure.
Les Colonello, everybody. He'll have the call to post for race number 6 and beyond. And the bugler here for over 20 years. And my pleasure to have Les on the set with me. Post time, race 5 in 5 minutes. Good luck.